And we're back. So, what are the rules for dialogue? Many of you, like I said before, already started using dialogue and talking in your stories, but there are actual rules that authors follow. So we're going to learn some of them so that we can make our writing even better. The first rule we're going to follow is that we always use quotation marks to show what a person is saying or thinking. So for example, here it says, I said, I can totally beat you, Mr. Hare. And to show where I'm talking, I'm using quotation marks at the start and at the end. Okay, that's rule number 1. Use quotation marks. Use what? Quotation marks. I totally heard you. Okay. The second rule is for every new speaker, you have to start a new line. So whenever someone new talks, you press return or enter and you start a new line. So here it says, I said, I can totally beat you, Mr. Hare. Now Mr. Hare's going to talk. Mr. Hare said, I don't think so. So you notice how I started a new line to show that Mr. Hare was talking next. Okay, so rule 1, use quotation marks at the beginning and at the end. And rule 2. Rule 2 is to start a new line for every time a new speaker is going to say something. Rule number 3 is that we end a quote using a period or a comma, and that goes inside the quotation marks. So here you see it says, I said, beating you will be easy, period. Then the quotation mark. Just wait, comma, then the quotation mark. So the commas and the periods go inside, whoa, mind-blowing, go inside the quotation mark, okay? So periods and commas go where? Inside the quotation mark, okay? Rule number 4, the first letter in what someone says should be capitalized, which is confusing because it's not the beginning of a sentence, but that's the rule. So here you see, I said, beating you, which is the beginning of the quote. That's why it's capitalized, because it's the beginning of what the person is saying. Just wait. This one's easy because that's the beginning of a sentence, but it's the beginning of the quote that should be capitalized. And the last rule is to use dialogue tags. What is a dialogue tag? A dialogue tag is the thing that you put after the quote or sometimes before the quote that shows how they're talking. Go, he yelled. Eat my dust, screamed Mr. Hare. So this helps the reader understand how it's being said. I included a resource for you to use in the tracker that shows you different ways of showing that someone's talking instead of saying he said, she said over and over again. Okay, these are the 5 rules that we're going to use when writing dialogue.